This is a test of the Boundary Park alert system. Hello and welcome to the Latics Football Phone-In with me, Matt Dean, and
Sexy Dave Bradley.
Where are you, Dave? Why are you not here with me?
I've got a business trip to Barbados, so I've been having to pack and sort some stuff out at home. And yeah, it's the jet set lifestyle that Sexy Dave has to lead as a guru of the ladies. You know,
off to Barbados for a week. That's very
Mm-hmm.
nice, very nice. So you couldn't be bothered coming down here tonight?
Nope.
No, that's fair enough. Getting ready for your hauls.
What have you got in your hands?
Who?
You. Put your hands up.
What do you mean? No. What? I don't know. What are you going to do here?
No, you're
setting me up for something. You're setting me up for something. What? Are you setting me up for something?
I thought you had your fingerless gloves on that you had on before. You
Oh, no. Oh, no. I thought you were setting me up for a joke. No, they're here. My fingerless gloves.
No. No, I would never.
You won't be needing them, will you, Dave? Anyway, you won't be needing them. Hello to Gaz. Good evening, Gaz. Anyway, it's not. Thankfully, for anyone watching, it's not just me and him talking rubbish tonight, is it? You've been working very hard to secure a very, very glamorous couple who, rumor has it there might be a home with this couple documentary coming out soon. I can't confirm or deny it, but
it's a rumor. From me going, don't we?
It's a rumor that I started with them about 10 minutes ago, but you never know, it might have legs. I mean, you've already tweeted it, Dave, but do you want to introduce our special guests?
Well, we have a fantastic person who has supported the podcast from day one. They always listen. They're a massive fan of Sexy Dave, and that's Ellen Half-Taylor, and husband-to-be, God's number 9, Mikey Fondop.
Yeah, they are. Drum roll if we had one. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the podcast. And thank you for inviting us into your blissful domestic situation. It looks lovely and cozy and Christmassy and
matchy with the hoodies.
Matchy.
Yeah.
He actually copied me, so
yeah. It's very coordinated. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's already got At Home with the Fondops written all over it. I'm saying, So
we'll speak about that later.
Yeah, we'll speak about that later. Exactly. We've got lots to talk about first, and we've got guests lined up. People who want to ask you questions. I want to talk to you, but Dave, you go first. You ask the first questions. You've set these guests up. I'm sure you're dying to ask them some questions, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. And the first one is to Ellen. Actually, you've followed obviously Mike through his career. He's played for the likes of Wrexham, Chesterfield. I think you guys met when Mike went to Wrexham. I'm correct in saying. But how have you found Oldham as a club and a community? Because I think you came in at rather a difficult time under previous ownership. And if you could tell us what that was like compared to what it's like now and your experience of the fan base, please, that'd be great.
Yeah, of course. I mean, as you said, I met Mike when he was playing for Wrexham. And I'm actually a Wrexham girl, born and bred, Wrexham supporter. So obviously I've always been used to
what?
You never said anything about this, Dave.
No, I didn't know.
Intel, Dave. Come on.
But obviously, when I met Mike, being like a big Wrexham fan, I was obviously used to kind of big fan bases. And then obviously I just followed him around then, wherever he went, like a little groupie. But no, I think being at Oldham, it's the first club I've experienced as his partner where family members are you know, really included on match days and things. Like, we get so well looked after on match days. Everybody's family gets along really well. I just think even you're different at Oldham than I've seen you at any other club, and I think your dressing room is so happy. Like, you all get on really well. There's never any like drama. And like you always said, like, you just love the Oldham fans. Like, there's just such a sense of, you know, everybody just pulling together, sticking together. Proper working class town, which is like, you know, that's where I'm from. That's what I know. And yeah, I just think it would be really hard not to kind of fall in love with this club, especially coming in and seeing how Mike's getting treated as well by everyone at the club and all the staff, and it's just top level, to be fair.
And a fantastic phone-in and podcast to match as well. That'd be
nice. Absolutely. I make it my business wherever he goes. I make it my business to, you know, see what's going on. And yeah, when I fell on this podcast, my mum listens to it and everything. Like, we just love it.
Oh, that's good.
Really?
I mean, it's really nice because of like the struggles that we've been through over the last few years. It's really, really nice to hear somebody impartial like yourself say that, you know, and have a genuinely positive experience at the club, because it's all quite new, and it means that we really are going in the right direction. Mike, give us a little bit of, because you know you've been here for a few seasons now. Give us a bit of an insight into what it's been like, basically.
Yeah, very, like El said, it's amazing. Honestly, one of the things that that's been marking me so far is the changing room. You know, I've been in different clubs, and I've been in clubs where, yeah, good changing rooms, but others where it's nearly toxic. But you know, all them the boys, you know, we banter every day. Literally, there is always banter. As soon as I wake up you know, in the morning, going to training, I always think about the fact that we're always gonna have a laugh. Not only with the boys, but the treatment I've received so far from the club has been amazing. You know, from the board to, you know, to the staff members and the players. So no, it is. You know, I couldn't. I can't complain. There's nothing negative to say. Everything's been fantastic. Even like she said as well, the support from the fans. You know, sometimes the messages I receive before, during, or after games, it's been amazing. And like in January, it'll be my second year in Oldham, and yeah, I hope the adventure continues longer.
I remember your debut against Newport when I think John Sheridan at the time, we'd just played Rochdale, and he said, "I've got a striker coming in. Not many people will know him, but he's a guy who'll definitely put himself about, and he's the big lad up front that we need." And Shez, we were like, and then it was like, I think you'd just signed from Hartlepool, or you just left Hartlepool, I think it was, and you came on against Newport, and I remember your first goal, and Cal Pagiani was going to go up for this header, and I think you headed through Pagiani and scored that bullet header straight into the straight past the keeper. The keeper couldn't even stop it with his two hands, and it was just like, he's arrived. And then you scored a little dink in the bottom corner, and it was just no, I think your first game was Scunthorpe, and I apologise, but Newport was when you came on after your concussion, and you scored your first two goals, and it was absolutely amazing. It was just like, this guy's arrived.
Didn't you get injured then, though?
I was gonna say yes. So I got injured during my first game against Scunthorpe.
Yeah.
Obviously at the time I didn't realize it was you know, it was a bad injury because I had a tear in my groin. So obviously I had a concussion as well, so I had to wait at least 10 days before getting back, you know, playing. But within the 10 days the head was fine, but I still felt like a pain in my groin. But I knew that, you know, the Gaffer, you know, really needed me. And we've worked before I came here. We worked before at Chesterfield. So if there's someone I was always gonna give, you know, everything, you know, John Sheridan, you know, was that person. So you know, I took anti-inflammatories, ibuprofen, paracetamol, expecting the pain to just go, but no, it wasn't. So when Junior got injured and he told me I'm coming up, you know, coming in halftime, honestly, I felt a bit of pressure because I thought I'm not fully fit in my mind. But then I also thought to myself, knowing the way he likes me to play, he just wants me to stay in the box. So I know I'm, you know, I'm going to do most of my job there. And I honestly, the pain was absolutely bad during the game. During that game, I was just, you saw me with a bandage on my, I think on my thigh, on my head. The pain was very bad, but I had to push it through. So when I scored that first header, with the adrenaline, it took away some of the pain, and then the second goal, yeah, I was so happy, and I thought we deserved the win that day, though we came back with it. But yeah, I was so happy to start. I don't any striker you speak to will always tell you it's always amazing to score in your early days in your club.
Yeah, and I think from our point of view, with the way that everything was going and the way that things have been going for a long time, it was like, oh, typical. We get this new striker and we're desperate for goals. Like, this is just what we need. You come in and score 2 goals and then you're out injured, and it was just like, oh, and it's very frustrating. It's frustrating for you. It's frustrating for the fans, and it's frustrating for everybody. But that's just the way it goes, isn't it? And mentally, you've just got to deal with it, haven't you, as a footballer? That must be the toughest side of the game.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I after that game, obviously scoring 2 goals and thinking, right, this is a good start now. The confidence is there, and but then the pain was still there, like I said. So the physio said, right, we need to make a scan just to see, and then we were all surprised to see after the scan that it was a grade 3, I think grade 3 tear that needed surgery. So there was no way. The doctor did not believe when I said I played with it. He couldn't believe it. So yeah, it wasn't an easy one to know that after having this debut with the club being in the position it was and the manager needing me, having to go off for surgery and then having to be off for 4 months. It was, yeah, like you said, mentally it was tough, but yeah, I had this fantastic woman near me, in addition to my family that absolutely helped me, be like, just, there's nothing there's nothing you can, it wasn't under your control, and God is the one. If God decided that that's how it has to be, then so be it. There's nothing we can do. So just keep being patient, support the team as much as you can, and eventually you come back. I think at the time we still had chances to get out of the red zone, but not only me, but a few other players got injured, and yeah, it just kept going down. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, like you learn from your experiences, and it's all of these experiences that that make this beautiful game of football.
Yeah, I think that season and that point where when Shez came back in, we had a good enough like first team, first 11 to stay up, but once we started getting the injuries and the suspensions and stuff like that, we didn't have the depth, did we? And we struggled, and that was that was it. So it was, but that's just the way it was, and everything happens for a reason, doesn't it? And now we are where we are, and we're starting again. I know that me and Dave could just sit here and ask you questions all night, so we have to remember we have to bring in some guests to ask you some questions, and so we'll bring Jack in because. Jack's a long-time friend of the show. You'll know him if you watch. Here he is. Hiya, Jack.
Hiya, you're right.
Yeah, you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Good. You're looking like a Jedi.
I'm just chilling, to be honest.
Got a question for you, Jack. Is the Force strong with Mike Fondop?
What is that?
I knew you wouldn't get it. Never mind. You fire away, mate. Have you got a question?
Yeah, like, let's say the ball's been played over top. What is your first thought of, like, what goes through your mind, like, the first thought?
When a ball comes over the top?
When the ball plays over the top, when it's pit long, what's your first thought?
Oh, just to win the ball, to go and win the header, because I'm being used as a target man, most of the time. So whenever the ball comes, I no matter what happens, I need to win the header. I need to win, and more importantly, win it towards one of my teammates. So yeah.
Thank you.
And do you think that the combination of yourself and Norwood, do you enjoy that? I mean, no, we've not seen it a vast amount, but it seems that you getting up there and doing that, winning those balls, and what's his first name? It's forgotten his first name. Norwood. James. When James was playing off around you, like, is because it's all around partnerships, isn't it? And it takes time to develop them, but it looks like there's some promise there.
Yeah. Like you said, I'm enjoying it. We are both coming with a lot of experience, and to be fair, we talk a lot. He talks to me during the game. I talk to him. it's not only it does not only happen during the game, but even training. You know, we train during training, we work on that. Which, you know, he will tell me, right, you know, this is what I want you to be, or this, you know, when it's time to play, ask me like my goal, and then if it's me on the other side, I'll tell you, yeah, go, and then I'm backing you up. And when the ball is coming, a lot of the time, maybe people will notice it, but before going for the header, I'll just shout his name, Nos. You know, just like beautiful, like Nos, Nos, and then eventually I'm always aiming to head the ball towards him. So yeah, I am enjoying the partnership. And obviously, like as the target man, yeah. To be fair, like sometimes I've got balls going to nose, and I have to be the one running down the channel. But I like doing that, you know, that dirty work, going in the air, being aggressive, and for someone else to get the ball.
Not too aggressive. Not red card aggressive.
Well,
Jack, Jack just mentioned that. Ask him about that, because I don't want to say it, but just ask him about that double yellow sending off against Solihull Moors. Do you remember that one, Jack? Do you remember? Jack's not playing. Yeah. Ask him about that, because I've forgotten all about it.
Was it against Solihull?
Yeah, do you remember when he got booked for kicking the ball? I've forgotten all this.
Yeah,
He kicked the ball away in the first minute, and then fouled. Did you get in trouble for that, Mike? That red card? Do you get in trouble as players, like for red cards and stuff like that, when you go back into the?
Well, managers don't they don't like it. They don't want players to get sent off, and especially in the first half. So, and I remember that time. In my defense, okay, right. I'm not trying to go for excuses.
It sounds like you are.
But you know, the ball was there, and I had completely forgotten that in the from the Prem, they're trying to tighten rules in terms of they're not allowing anything, kicking the ball, going to the ref. No, before it used to be, you know, they'll just let you. But yeah, I didn't, you know, I just touched the ball slightly, and I was shocked when the ref booked me. So again, I learned from that day that you can't do it anymore. And the second one, I held my hand up after, you know, at halftime. I apologized to each player and then to the manager, because, like, you know, I was so gutted that I had that red card. I felt like I let the team down, and on top of that, we lost. So, and it was not a nice feeling. And there's something in the club, if you get red carded, you get fined. You get fined, and it's not a small amount. So it's not something you want to do. And obviously, with competition for places, you don't want to give any excuses, because you go out, someone else comes, does well, and then you know. So yeah. But yeah, I think I'm coming a long way from that. And I'm a chain man now. Am I?
Yeah, that's what Alex Reid was saying. Yeah.
Everyone says that when they're sat next to their fiance, don't they? I'm a chain.
Dave, I'm not sure if the referee was the best on that day, but I think he was. Didn't we have Mark White on after? Like, and he was, because we were talking about the referees and stuff, wasn't he? Because he was saying about the rules and how it was just it was a bit silly earlier on in the season with some of the yellow cards and stuff that was happening.
Yeah, he just said like the referees are now a bit, in his opinion, the laws are now being a lot more. They're taking the laws as like by the book every single time. They're taking the personality out of the game, where there's a bit of common sense being there's a lot more lacking from the officials. They're all mic'd up. They're all talking to each other. You can't really speak to them anymore. They're a bit like robots. And that was his perception. How have you found the officials? I'm not trying to like stitch you up with this question, but have you found it a different from last season or a few seasons ago, where the referees will speak to you, or have you found it the same?
Yeah, I'll say the game is going very soft, very, very soft. Like, I'm one of those managers like me to be aggressive. Like, believe it or not, they like me to be aggressive. But because of what's been happening the past seasons, especially this one, I have to work on that, you know, aggression, and channel it in a different way. Because, like you said, now anything you do, you get booked. But, you know, even coming to talk to the ref is just normal. Like, you know, as human beings, if you're accused of something you haven't done, it's normal for you to defend yourself and to say, no, that wasn't me, or to try to have a word. that's what sometimes we're trying to do. We're trying to go to the ref, but no, if you charge at the ref, if you run towards the ref, that's a booking. Again, right? We're not trying to run towards them, but a lot of the time they don't. You feel like they don't want to listen. If you're trying to talk to them, but no, they don't. They don't want. So there is a massive difference. And again, like refs, they're not. No, none of us is perfect. We all make mistakes. So they can make mistakes. You know, I'm one to be like, yeah, they've done a mistake. You know, we move on, but it's a bit too much sometimes. You feel like, yeah, you know. I'll take an example. There's one game, I think we were playing home at Halifax, when I think I got an elbow in the box, and it was meant to be a pen. The ref didn't say anything. The guy wasn't red carded, but a few days after, there was an article that came that the ref apologized for that.
Yes.
But again, if it was me, would it have been a different case? All these things, and then it cost us 1 or 2 points. So yeah, like I said, we're all humans. We can allow some mistakes, but at least, you know, try to be fair, and let just let something. I feel like we need, you know, they need to
let the game flow. Let the game
yeah.
flow a bit more. Yeah.
So
I've got a question for Ellen. What's Mike like at playing games? Is he a bad loser? And does he defend himself when he loses?
He's literally you can't tell Mike anything, because he'll defend anything he's done. Even if he's done something right, he'll still try and defend that it's right. And I'm like, I know it's right, you don't have to tell me. But we this season, if he gets a red card, he gets a red card at home as well. So there's a Premier Inn down the road. So he knows the drill.
No wonder you're a changed man, Mike. No wonder.
Have you got any more questions, Jack?
Yeah, I was going to say, Jack.
Yeah, just one more. With Norwood not celebrating, is it a bit of a running joke in the squad?
No. Each and every player is different, aren't they? So some like to celebrate, to show, you know, are more expressive than others. Let me put it that way. So that's just his style. And no. We just accept him the way he is.
Nice one, Jack.
Cheers, mate.
Have a nice rest of your night, guys.
Yeah, you too, mate. Talk to you soon. Talk to you soon, mate.
Yeah, bye.
Nice one. He's a good lad, Jack. He's sits in the Rochdale Road end with us. So.
For a young lad, he asked some really good questions as well. He's like,
yeah. Well, here's another one, and he's outdoing Jack on the garments that he's wearing. Look at Michael here in his big fluffy Marvel thing that he's wearing. Look at that. You all right, mate? Yeah, really good. Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
The floor is yours, mate. Fire away.
Just a couple questions. If you had to give one piece of advice for a young lad like me who wants to succeed playing football, what would it be?
That's a good question, actually. I think you've heard it from everyone before. Football is about working hard, but if you want to be above the average, you have to put in extra work, because nowadays a lot of players just focus on working according to what they've been given or what they do in training. But you have to do what I call the invisible work, when no one sees. You go to the gym, you go for a jog, you go for a run, because that's going to put you above the average. But you know, you work on the things that need working on, or you know, and obviously, no, it's not only on the pitch as well. It's about, you know, working on your diet. All these things are, you know, contributing factors.
It's a lifestyle, isn't it?
Yeah. Football is not only coming to training or going to play. No, it's the amount of water you drink daily, you know, the food you put in your mouth. All these contribute to you playing well or recovering well after a game.
That makes me think. Good question, Michael. But that makes me think about some of the questions and some of the, you know, I mean, there's always loads of rumours and things going around. But one of the things, Mickey Mellon said it himself about getting the squad fitter. And did the squad? I mean, we all know that the opening game against Southend was just a disaster, and the first sort of 9-10 games under the previous manager weren't very good. Has the team got fitter? Could it have been fitter and sharper at the start of the season, do you think? And if that was the issue, why do you think it was?
I think the team was fit. I think, but again, there's always room for improvement. So, yeah, like you said, you're coming playing against Southern that really didn't have a good preseason. Or we all know what happened to them. For us to go and lose there was not acceptable. But oh no, I can promise you that the previous manager, the fitness, this was my toughest preseason since I've been playing football. Like, this was my toughest preseason. So it, in terms of fitness, I believe, and I could see everyone was fit, but it's just that that team union, or understanding, because you can be fit, but if you haven't got the understanding, that togetherness, it's going to be difficult. So it's just working on knowing your teammates, and eventually as time goes by, that's, you work on that. And again, you can be fit, but there's always room for improvement, and you keep working on that fitness.
Yeah.
You say about knowing your teammates. I just wanted to touch on that. Last season, there was a myriad of players coming into the squad. How did that affect like the dressing room? Because at one point we had 45 players on the books, and how did that affect you as a player? Aside from the competition, but trying to get understand these different personalities going into a game. Do you think that was a bit of a factor why the results weren't coming?
Again, you know that successful teams, when you have a group of people that know how to play together and that know how to win games, and eventually they go on a run. But sometimes when you change too much, it doesn't help. Now, to say that was a factor, no, and I wouldn't say, because again, when there were new players, that's something the changing room is good at, welcoming people. So every time there was a new player, he always felt welcome. Or I mean, we did our best to make him feel welcome. And obviously, the decision is for the manager to choose and to decide. And because the result were not what we're expecting, so that's usually what happens in football. The manager tends to change or make rotate the team. But no, I don't think that has impacted in terms of the result, because we're trying to give a chance to everyone. But yeah, yeah, you saw having to a big squad, yeah, it's not going to help too much, because like again, it affects that understanding of the team. But when you have injuries, sometimes it's helpful.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Michael, have you got more question, mate?
Yeah, just one more. If you was in Mickey Mellon's shoes right now, what is one thing you would change if you was manager?
Oof. If I was in the manager's shoe now, that's a bit of a tough question. I don't know what I'll be changing. What would I change?
Your contract, double your wages.
I was gonna say more days off.
Yeah, you're not wrong with that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, getting a 5 years old with getting 5 grand a week. But no, Michael, I'm really sorry, but I don't know what I would have changed now. I probably need a bit more time to think.
Well, it probably might be a slightly easier question to answer then. Is what little things has Mickey Mellon done since he's come in that have that are obvious changes than were happening previously?
What has the gaffer? Obviously, he's brought that. Sometimes when you change managers, different managers come in with different personalities. It automatically, without him doing anything, it changes the team's dynamic. And I feel like the gaffer has brought that, because I remember the first day he spoke to us, or he went straight to it. He went and said, anyone that's not doing what he wants will be sidelined, and he's going to be an honest manager. So if you do what he's expecting from you, you're going to receive the benefit. But if you don't, then you will be, which is fair. So I think from that first day, the speech he gave, everyone knew, he's not coming to mess. So when you have a manager that comes straight away and tells you that from day one, because he did not wait day 5 or day 10 to know, because some managers, when they come in, how you doing, the way they observe. No, Mickey came, and then from that first day, he went straight and told us this is what he wants, and he was like, Oldham does not belong to this league. He looked at the infrastructures and everything we had. He said he started looking at us and telling us, nah, there's nothing. It's not acceptable. We don't believe in this league. Just look, you guys look at yourself. No. So after that first meeting, we all knew, you have to be 100%. You cannot be. Yeah, obviously you're liable to mistake, but you have to do what the manager wants, and you have to put more effort. And I think from that day, every player on the pitch, obviously, on the new manager, you want to play for you have to fight for your spot. So everyone was giving 100%, and so yeah, I feel like he brought that presence of he's not going to accept anything less than the standards that Oldham needs to be at, which can change massively.
He seems to me, I don't know, just from, I've not met him yet, I've not spoke to him, but we met Shez a few times, didn't we, Dave, and chatted to him. And also, he obviously, he's been around the club a lot. He reminds me a bit of him, though, in his kind of his honesty. And he does, like, when he's in the post-match interviews, when he's lost a game, he's really, you can tell how down he is and frustrated and annoyed he is. Does he have, is there a bit of Shez about him, in not necessarily in his management style, but in his personality, that kind of, there's like a steeliness and an honestness, which comes across.
Yeah. 100%. And I remember even when he came, I spoke to a player I played with at Burton, Ken Hemmings. We played together at Burton Albion, and Mickey was his manager at Tranmere. So I spoke to Ken, and then Ken told me straight away, Mike, he's a good manager, but he would be honest. So if you work hard, he's one of those that you're gonna reap the benefit. But if you don't, then he's also gonna be honest with you. So yeah, the gaffer, if we lose a game, then you can tell that he's not happy like everyone, and he really means it because he wants the club to succeed. He wants the club to get out of this league. But when we win the game, he look after everyone, and he can. Sometimes we have a good laugh. He comes and he loves to let us be ourselves in training. He comes, like, since day one, he's noticed some few things about me, but no, he doesn't change it. He comes, he loves banter in the changing room. He loves to see people laugh. But yeah, he's got that side of being kind, being honest, but he's also got the other side of he's going to tell you if he believes that you need to do more.
So what was he like in the dressing room after Fylde and Ebbsfleet then? Because they were particularly impressive performances by the squad, were they? What's he like on a day like that?
Oh, he was fuming. He was absolutely fuming. Like, he was. He was not happy. And we thought that if we thought, because if we won the Ebbsfleet game, for instance, that would have been like 3 wins in a row. Which probably would have had like not the Monday off because we had bowling, but no, he was not happy. But I know he also took into account the fact that we had 2 away trips to London, and obviously the Wednesday game against Barnet, we didn't have enough time for recovery. He took that into account. But no, the Fylde game, but even that, like, we're not trying to look for excuses, because even Epsom, they played on a Tuesday. He just took that into account. But no, he was not happy because he thought, no, we should have done better. So yeah, he will tell you straight away, that game you should have done this, you should have run more, you should have covered more distance, you should have pressed more. Yeah, he will tell. So yeah, he was fuming.
Michael, as a young fan, as someone who you've never experienced anything remotely like successful at Oldham, I'm old enough to remember when we got promoted, but it was a long time ago. What do you want from the players at Oldham? Like, what is it that you sort of minimum expectations are, and what's it like being a young Oldham fan?
I don't know, because obviously you want to expect us to, like, this league what we're in now. It's not like it's rubbish, isn't it? Like, obviously the players obviously will want to get into the higher leagues. I think that's what other young fans want to happen. So I think that's the one thing what I would like to happen for us to go up.
Yeah, I think Mike is it's a tougher league, isn't it, to play in, and
Yes.
like then like sometimes the standard of some of the games is quite poor, but then so it is in League Two as well, and it can be in League One to watch.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that when you're actually involved in it, it's obviously very, very difficult, very, very tough. There's a lot of good players, a lot of physical players, and the standard has definitely improved over the last few seasons as well, hasn't it? So it's getting better all the time, this division,
Mike,
and harder to get out of.
Oh yeah,
I've just got one more.
100%.
Got a question? Go on, mate.
What was your run about against Barnet? What was all that? What was all that about?
Nice one.
It almost had to come. Now, like I said to everyone, it's a track runner's technique, and it was actually for me to gain more ground. That was the reason. So if you watch athletes or there's people running tracks, they do it on their tiptoes. And it's not the first time that I did it. I've done it in the past in different clubs. I just don't have the footage of it anymore. But yeah, when I do it, it's to cover more ground, to be faster, and yeah, maybe to scare you of the defender. But I was quite surprised of how viral it went.
Yeah,
it is the best. There's a few Mike Fondop memories that I've got, but I was just in the front room watching the game, and my wife doesn't watch all of them because she's a Liverpool fan, and she just burst out laughing. She said that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like, and she said, but to be fair, she said the same. She said because it's a track movement because he's getting down, and she said she can see why you did it. Yeah, she said it's hilarious.
The amount of people that messaged me like, "What is he doing? What was that? What is he doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I've learned just not to ask anymore. Like nothing does surprises me anymore."
I was definitely not showboating. No, that is actually a technique I was trying to use to get faster. So
the thing is, though, Mike, because of the game and everything, and obviously the result and the performance and the way it all panned out, and you scored, and it just with that run as well, it just looked like someone who was enjoying themselves as well. Do you know what I mean? Like you just looked like you and the rest of the squad looked like everyone was just enjoying it because it was the kind of result that we'd all wanted to play, because you all want to win as much as we want you to win, and we want to see us all scoring goals and you smashing it into the top of the net and all that, and that's what we want. But it looked like, I thought, oh, Mike's loving it. He's enjoying himself out on the pitch, cheering a throw in and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
what we want to see.
I remember during the interview I had with Manchester, BBC Manchester, and they asked that same question to the gaffer if he thinks I was showboating, and the gaffer said no, because of what he's seen from me in training, shouting and always being loud and trying to always do things that some might find funny. He believes that's because I'm enjoying it, and that's the perfect response. That's the case. When I enjoy my football, I tend to do things that sometimes not under my control. But obviously, I'm not trying to showboat or be disrespectful to anyone. No, that's just me enjoying the game. Because again, I believe when the fans come to see the game, I just don't want the fans to just sit there and just have a boring game. Or obviously when we win, it's good, but I like bringing that extra thing for the fans to enjoy when they go back home. They're like, we had a good game. So yeah, that is me enjoying. That's me having a good time.
Nice one. Michael, thanks very much for your questions, mate. And joining in as always. Top lad. Stay warm, stay cozy, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Michael.
We have to mention talking about like great goals and stuff, because presumably when you're feeling relaxed and you're enjoying yourself, that's when you score some of your spectacular goals. Obviously last season you won the Boundary Park Alert System Goal of the Season award and came to the awards ceremony. I presume it's just in the cabinet, or just your awards just behind you somewhere there. We just can't quite see it, but it's obviously.
Oh god!
But you have scored some belters, haven't you? They've scored some really good goals. Yeah.
And what you said, I'm sure many athletes can agree. If you play while being stressed, just the amount of stress can stop you from doing a lot of things. But the minute you relax yourself, that's when you start doing incredible things. You can be so talented, but the minute you're stressed and you let that stress affect you, everyone would be thinking, you're not a good player. But you can be an average player, but when you play without stress, you can play like Messi or Ronaldo. So yeah, when I enjoy myself or when I try to take that stress away, that's actually when a lot of things happen. You know, so yeah, like you said.
I think with strikers as well, it's like when you get to finish, you see the thing that when it's instinctual and you don't have time to think about it, and it's just boom. That's when great things happen. And then often when like there's too much time to think about stuff and your head gets in the way, that's when people like miss chances. Like, well, you say, oh, there's a really good chance, we have too much time. So instinct and free, like that kind of freedom of not overthinking is really important in it. And that's when it pull off some of those great moments and the audacity just to give them a try. And fans love it, don't they? That's why we go to the football matches. I'd rather see strikers try something ridiculous on the chance that it goes in, than not do it. We've been through it in Oldham Dave loads of times, haven't we? Where we've just not been having enough shots. You go through a game and there's not a shot on target, and someone like yourself will come off the bench and just have a go. And that's why fans are like, hallelujah, someone's had a shot,
Yeah. The thing is for me as well, I know it's a lot about performance and being less stressed, but do you use any, like, do you look at your mindset and psychological techniques? Because I know you're very religious as well. Do you use that as part of you to improve your game as well, and having the belief in yourself with your religious beliefs as well? Does that come into your game and how you manage your emotions in a game, or how you try a bit harder, or when you're up against it, do you use that in a way to use it as a power as such to improve?
Yeah, massively. Like my partner as well, we are big believers in God, and before games, during games, after games, I always pray. And before going out on that pitch, I always, I pray in the changing room, asking God to protect me, to protect my teammates, to also protect the opposition teammate, to protect everyone from injury, and then He helps me to give my best. That is the thing that calms me down. That's what takes away the stress from me, because no game is ever the same. Today I can play without being stressed, but eventually the next day, when you see 6,000, 7,000 people, that there's always that element of stress. But when I pray, it always calms me down. So yeah, I read a lot. I read the Bible a lot, and there are many secrets in the Bible, many advices on how to manage that. So yeah, it's a massive part of my life, and a lot of people say things happen for a reason, but it's actually true. But I see it in a way from God. Like sometimes He allows things we might not know why, but they happen for our own benefit. So if I win, I thank God. If I lose, I thank God. If you draw, I thank God. So yeah, faith, Christianity, praying is a massive part of my life. And I can tell you, we've been through stressful situations where she might be stressing, but she always looks at me. I'm just there, just calm, and she can't believe it. Like, how these guys not stress when, but then eventually she realizes, the Bible always tell her because by stressing now, how are you gonna manage the situation or change the situation? No, if anything, when you stress, you don't think rationally. So try to calm down and take a deep breath, and then then try to take decision. But yeah, faith plays a massive part of my of our life.
And when you forgot your boots at Dorking, did faith come into it then when you had to go and tell David?
I didn't. Dave, I didn't forget my boot that day. I remember saying it even after.
Here we go. See, defending himself.
No.
Again.
I brought my boots, but it was the studs. So obviously we're gonna play an Astro. So I brought my boot, and when we got it, that's when I realized, I needed to bring studs, but I could have played with them. However, Matt at the time was the second goalie, so he said, he's got an extra pair of boots. Do I want to borrow it? I was like, no, it's fine. I can play with mine. He said, no, Matt, honestly, I don't mind. That's all right. Okay, I'll just give it a go. Let me try. And then I tried it in the warm up, and I was enjoying it. And the rest is history. But I don't know if the previous manager told you I think he didn't want me. He didn't want. This plan was for me to start, but I did everything for him not to know. But eventually he knew that I forgot my boots, so he wasn't going to start me that day because of that. But I think John Ebb told him, no, it's fine, just start him. And but yeah, after he did not regret that choice. But
We've
yeah,
got them boots now, haven't we? We've
yeah,
got the boots.
yeah,
That was like, no, I can't take them back off you now.
No.
You have to keep them.
yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Well,
that was there, that was-
he scored a wonder goal that day. So the Lord does
Yeah.
work in mysterious ways, doesn't he?
Yeah, and we needed
Yeah.
it as well. That was our first away win of the season, wasn't it? That and that
Oh,
was
yeah,
that was
yeah.
in January, wasn't it? I think something like that. So, yeah, or December. But yeah, we'll be down there again in January, hopefully. It must. We're just getting to that time of year where you just never know if games are going to be on and things like. It must be very frustrating. It must have been frustrating on Saturday, Mike, with the Boreham Wood game getting called off so late in the day. It must,
Yeah.
you must get yourself really up for it, and then you just kind of, revved up, we know where to go kind of thing.
Yeah, because what you don't want is the game being replayed on the Tuesday after you played on the Saturday. If that Tuesday you were meant to be, just a training session. So yeah, when you get yourself prepared for a game and then it doesn't happen, yeah, it, like you said, and then thinking about the other team as well, they travel all the way down and then all the way up, sorry, to Oldham to be told on the day. But again, when you walk on the pitch, because I walked on the pitch that day, and yeah, I understood why it was called off. It was very, the pitch was not in a good state. It was
No.
rock solid, so there was an element of safety involved. So when you think about that as well, you want to play, but do you want to play, risking to be injured as well? So
Yeah.
Mm.
No,
Exactly, yeah.
it's your livelihood at the end of the day. Right, let's bring Rocco in. He's very very patiently waited in the back there. That's not an Oldham shirt that you're wearing, Rocco.
No, why would I wear that?
Well, what are you wearing? Boreham Wood.
Boreham Wood, yeah.
Mike's not going to sign for Boreham Wood before you ask. You can't ask that.
Oh, God. Oh, well.
The obvious question to ask you, Rocco, is: were you on your way up to Boundary Park when the game got called off on Saturday?
No, but you have to feel for the other supporters that was going to go up but got called off. You can't.
What's your question for Mike?
Can't think of any. Can't really think of any.
Stage fright.
Yeah, a bit of stage fright. Would the pitch? No.
Rocco,
Yeah,
what's happened to Boreham Wood this season? You were doing well this last season, and you're struggling a bit this year. That's why I was looking forward to playing you on the weekend. I thought Mike was going to bag an hat-trick, and we were going to get 3 easy points.
Yeah, but I don't know what happened. We've been playing some piss poor football, to say the least. We're not getting the points we need. I mean, beating Woking, thank God we beat Woking, otherwise Garrard would have been in hot water, even though he's never going to leave the club. But I'm glad we beat Woking. That would have set the bar nicely for Oldham, and considering you lost 4-1 to Ebbsfleet,
All
we
right,
would have
mate.
stood a chance.
All right.
Mike, what Boreham would have got some big lads in their team, haven't they? I mean, like you're big, Mike. You're a big lad, but what's it like playing against that back line of Boreham Wood? It must be hard work.
Oh man, I tell you what, it's one of the every time I know I have to play against Bournemouth, I know I'm in for a massive game, for a tough one. Like you said, they're always known to have big players. So and the funny thing is I know a lot of their centre backs. So I hate playing against people I know, because I have to switch that friendship mind into an opposition mind straight away, quickly. It's a lot easier when you don't know the defender, but when it's someone you have to switch. But yeah, after every game against Bournemouth, I always come out with something. So always, because it's always a battle. It's always a battle. You see all the big defenders, when you jump in there, you get smashed. You have to smash others. And then there's a lot of talking going about as well during the game. Oh, a lot from the defenders. They like getting into the mind, but to get into my mind is very difficult. I just laugh at it every time they do it. But yeah, it's always tough. It's never been an easy game against Bournemouth.
No, they're not. That's the thing about last season. They got to the playoffs, didn't they, last season? and
Yeah,
they're very,
yeah,
very
that's
difficult
true.
side to.
Nearly went to Wembley. Mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
And
difficult team to
they
beat.
team
But
when you play against them, you don't know what to expect as well. Bournemouth,
Yeah.
they always find that. I mean, I'm talking about last season. I don't know. I don't know about this season, but the past few seasons, they always find a way to get something. It should be a win or a draw.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, nice one. Well, have you got anything else you want to say? Have you, before you go, Rocco?
If if some volunteers helped the pitch on Saturday, would the game been able to have been played?
Oh, I think our groundsman did everything because he spent the whole morning, before the game, afternoon and evening. They went home quite late. Our groundsman with other people, they work on it. So they did everything they could, but
This wasn't safe.
no, man. Us
No.
men, we decide on things, but God has got the final word. And yeah, no, you can. The groundsman could have done everything, but they're not going to stop the rain or the snow. Sorry,
No, of course
or
not.
the freezing temperatures. No, so
No.
Mm.
Nice one. Thanks for calling in,
Cheers,
Rocco.
Rocco.
Looking
Thank
forward to beating you in January when
Yeah.
we have the replay.
Can't wait. Good
Take
luck
care,
with
mate.
the rest of your
Bye.
season, Mike. Bye.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
Thank
you.
Cheers, mate.
Take care.
Got a question for you, Al. Like, obviously, when he plays in games like against Bournemouth, he's obviously a big, tough Mike. You know what I mean? Like, we all see him, and he's hard as nails and that. But when he gets battered and bruised like that, and he comes home after those games, what's he like? Is he like a bit of sympathy and looking after, and playing it all that, or is
He
he
does.
carry all the tough guy thing at home?
This is the thing about Mike, right? He's like known as this big, aggressive, scary Mike, but like anyone who knows Mike, he's like the biggest softy there is. Like he's the gentlest giant. But we've got a rule, haven't we, after a game? So obviously, like if they lose a game or they've had a battering, he comes home in a foul mood naturally. But we've got a 24-hour rule, haven't we? So whether it's injury, loss, draw, red cards, whatever mood he's coming home in, he's got 24 hours. And then when that 24 hours is up, that's it. Then you don't get any sympathy off me then. So it's like you can complain for 24 hours and then it's done. We move on and we enjoy some family time then.
And it's something since the season before last, and even with the coming of our daughter, I promised that to myself because in the past I used to let myself a lot affected by football after because especially when I used to live on my own, the others they got back to the family, but I was going back to on my own. So you have a lot of time to think about the things you could have done better, the losses, the draws. But now with my daughter and her, I promised myself whatever happens on the football pitch stays there. I can't come back home and kiss my daughter in a bad mood because they see that even I can't. Yeah, I know a lot of times she's like a sponge to me, but I try my best not to do it. So when it's done there, I sit down a bit in the changing room. I let myself digest and I accept what just happened. And then when I drive home, when I enter this door, yeah, when I lost, I don't like it. I don't like losing, but I try to get back into the family mood. Spend some quality time with them.
It's the same for fans because I know it ruins. I mean, if you have to learn to deal with loss as an Oldham fan pretty early on because, it's been happening for a long time. But a bit like it would have been at Wrexham for a long time as well. And there's plenty of clubs that go through it. But I think when you're younger, sometimes you take it a bit harder because you're not quite as experienced and used to it. And then as you get older, you learn to sort of just get like Dave gets very stressed out at games and starts shouting and being horrible. And I have to nudge him sometimes.
Even me.
Calm down.
Yeah, even her.
Even me, I'm the one shouting at him on the side of the pitch. What are you doing? What was that? Like that's me.
Well, that's the time. That's the time and the place, though, isn't it? Then the game's over, and then,
yeah.
like you say, there's nothing you can do to affect it. Once it's done, it's done. Move on to enjoy the rest of your day.
Have you ever done that, Ellen? Have you ever done that and gone, Mike, how did you miss that? Have you ever said that to
all the time?
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
And she's quite proactive with me as well. Before games, she'll sit me down like, right, like my coach, right, look at me. no red card today, okay? You go there. Yeah, you can be aggressive, but nothing stupid. No yellow card, no red card. Focus on the game, and then whatever happens, happens. But make sure you give your best. And adding to the point you just said, you know, when if we lose, you know, some players, including myself, it's happened before. Sometimes we get abused from fans, but I want fans to know that the players are the first people to want to win. You know, when we go out there, you know, we giving everything. We want to go up there as well. Everyone knows that if we all do better, it means probably better opportunities for some of us, maybe better contract for some of us, and even better thing for the club. So we don't want to lose, we want to win. But it's just sad that as soon as something bad's happen or it's not the result we wanted, you know, the abuse some get, and which is I understand the frustration from a lot of them.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, just learning how to accept it, channel it in a better way. Yeah.
I always think as well, like, it just doesn't help the players, like, obviously seeing it from the other side. When you see fans booing their own players on the pitch, that always blows my mind, because I'm like, do you really think that that's going to help them? Do you really think that's going to encourage them to do better? Like, fans are so fickle, aren't they? But I'd say Oldham's definitely one of the better clubs you've been at in terms of fan support and fan base. And, you know, like, there's been some clubs, even when you're doing well, you're getting slated and abused. But I'd say definitely here, like, you get so many positive messages and things. But again, it's like the thing of, if they've had a loss or he's had a bad game, I'm like, turn your phone off, mate. Like, we're not doing that now, you know.
No, we have to do it. We have to do it every week after the podcast and the phone in, because we have a bad one every week. We have to just turn it off and ignore it, don't we, Dave? But look, you know, it's just the way it is. But and we've just got, like, when it clicks, when it finally just tipples over and we start this club, it's going to be just the best place to be, because everybody is so starved of success and happiness at the club that we're just, it's tangible. Like, we're just desperate for it. And I think, and we know it's coming. Like, it doesn't happen overnight. Things are being put in place. Things are building. Things are going in the right direction. I still think we'll make the playoffs this season. I still think we've got a good enough squad. We've got good enough players. And and I think
I've got a couple. I did a little game with Alex Reed when he was on. I don't know if you saw it, but I'm gonna ask you a few questions now, Mike.
Can we save that? Just save that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bring the captain in, because he's absolutely freezing to death out here. Look at him there, like,
I'm going to get sacked here. I've been waiting 10 minutes. I'm at work. I'm going to get sacked.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
No,
only joking. You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm stuck in here like a Chilean miner. What's going on?
you look like a Chile miner, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely cold.
Yeah. Go on then. What have you got? Crack on.
No question for Big Mike. Just knock 20 in, pal. Let's have a good season. See you next week.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, well, there you go.
Well, I'm not sure that was worth getting sacked for, but thanks for that, Captain. It's always good to see. It's always good to see him with clothes on, I think.
Right.
You know, the top off. We've got Ibby as well, so let's bring Ibby in.
Go on.
Hello, Ibby.
Evening, guys. You all right?
Yes, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. Hello, Mike and Ella.
Hi.
Hello, Ibby.
Mike, I've been very impressed with you of late. Whatever you're doing, carry it on. We're fully behind you, and hopefully it leads us to the playoffs.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll make sure I do that.
And I wish you a very good Christmas also with your family.
Oh, thank you. That's much appreciated. And you too. Have a nice one as well with your family.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Mike and Dave, there's not much to be said. I've heard everything, and most of my questions has already been answered.
What's your favourite Mike Fondop moment, Ibby?
It has to be the Barnet game.
What part? The goal, the run?
The run, because that will long live in my memory. And I hope he does it. I hope he does it again one day, but he needs to be very careful because he could get injured.
Yeah, IB knows. Yeah, IB indeed, because it's something that if you're not careful, yeah, you can risk pulling your hammies. So yeah, you have to be careful when you do that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you carry on banging them lovely goals in for us.
thank you, IB. Thank you. I'll make sure I
Yeah,
do.
thanks a lot, guys, and all the best to everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Ibby.
Cheers,
Talk to you
IB. You
soon,
too.
bud. Cheers,
you.
mate. Nice one. Yeah, good
Right.
old Ibby. Part of the furniture here on the phone in. Right,
He
Dave,
is.
go on. You've got your questions there.
Right, Mike.
Again, what's it about?
Go on.
It's about your teammates, okay? Who's the funniest in the dressing room?
Mark Kitchen.
Why?
Oh, he's just. I know Reed said I'm unusual, but Kitchen is more unusual than me.
Unusual.
Yeah, he comes up with random things. And I think he's actually watching this. So, Kitch, yeah, if you watch, he said he was gonna watch it. But yeah, he is so funny. Honestly, every time I go in, I just look at him, I start laughing. So he's one of those. He doesn't need to say anything for you, to be funny. So yeah, Mark Kitchen for me.
So what you're saying is funny looking.
No,
No, all right, okay. Just to double check. Okay,
It's just,
Grand. Yeah, good stuff.
Out of all the managers that you've had, John Sheridan, David Unsworth, Paul Murray, Steve Thompson, and now Mickey Mellon, who's the scariest and why?
Oh, the scariest. I mean, you mean in Oldham, right?
Yeah. You've had John Sheridan, Mickey Mellon, Steve Thompson, David Unsworth. Who was who intimidated you the most?
I don't think I was. Yeah, I mean, again, yeah, I'm not. I'm yet. Yeah, I don't think I have been intimidated because yeah, that's a big term. But the current gaffer, I'm still I'm still observing. But in terms of
I think that says it all.
I think
Well-
I'm still observing, but I feel like he might have because for me the scariest people are not those that are trying to show it and big and no, like yeah, I think someone that's very calm that doesn't say much, he can be actually that's the person that will scare me. So far, yeah, the actual manager, I haven't yet seen, he's, the worst part of him, but I think he might be that one because the others, no, I wouldn't say no. So yeah, so far, I wouldn't say I have been intimidated as of yet.
Okay, fair enough. If there was a fight in training out of James Norwood and Liam Hogan, who's going to win?
Hogs, Liam. I'd say Liam Hogan.
That surprised me.
Because I think they've always got a bit of bite, but everyone says that Hogs is quite scary as well because he's the captain, isn't he?
I'll say Hogan because I've seen Hogs in the gym. So again, I know fighting is not only about gym; it's about technique and that. But I haven't seen much of Noz in the gym because obviously he's just new, and I've seen him in the gym. But I've been with Hogs for more than a year now, and I've seen the weight he carries, and he's among the strongest in the in the gym room actually. So yeah, I think he will win it.
Right, well, we'll have to get Liam Hogan and Norz on at the same time and let them have it out, won't we?
Very aggressive question, Dave.
I know.
Who gives? Sorry, I'll ask. Who gives the best hugs in the squad? There, just to flip it from that aggression into love.
Who gives the best hugs? Someone that always gives. I think I was gonna say either Shares or Will Sutton. Will Sutton gives me a lot of hugs. We're quite close. Yeah, Will Sutton. I'm quite close to him. I'm close to Shares as well. But in terms of hugs, Will Sutton is giving more, and he gives lovely one.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good to know.
There's many pictures for, but yeah.
And who eats the most waffles in the canteen?
There's only one person. He's up there undisputed. Dan Worley.
Yeah, because he recorded you singing, didn't he? Did you know he was recording you? Oh, do you?
No,
did you
I promise you no. No, we're in the flat because a lot of the time we're in the flat and we just sat there after we've chat. I'm doing my work sometime, my computer, doing one or two things, and he's doing his, and I just came out, I just do my thing, and then I didn't know he was recording me, and then before I knew, he just showed. I was like, nah, yeah. But yeah, he tends to do that a lot. I've noticed. So now when we're in the flat together, I try to be as quiet as possible and not do anything.
Well, I won't put you on the spot for a rendition, but I think all the fans would love a bit of a Mikey Fondop song. Are you gonna give us a little bit of a song now?
We did together. Number 9 in OAFC. No, go on, all right. Let's start there. 1, 2,
Okay.
3.
We've got God's number
9 in OAFC. His name is Mike Fondop. He's gonna score today. Ole, ole, ole.
That deserves centre stage. That definitely.
That's another award in the bag, isn't it?
Oh, that's absolutely. And because I like doing it, I'm going to take me and Dave out of the screen again. And can you give us a fond, the home of Fondop Christmas message? Give a nice message to the Oldham fans. I'll leave it over to you.
Yeah, you go.
Okay. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful Christmas. Be kind. Remember, these lads are working so hard. And yeah, I would just say keep being amazing Oldham fans and just be kind.
Yeah, and I was going to add as well, I know during this time of the year, it's good for some, but it's not good for others. There are some that are homeless, that haven't got families to celebrate, Christmas with. So we think about you guys, and we hope, I'm always there. I'm gonna do everything to help. Should it be donations or anything to make this Christmas special for anyone that is not, or for anyone during which this period is a sad one. So we think about you guys, and we pray that each and everyone has a lovely time. Should it be with family or away from family? And like she said, just also remember that we are all human beings. We want to win, but the result are not always the one we want. But we keep going, and we just have to keep the faith. So yeah, have an amazing Christmas, everyone from the Fondops family.
This just turned into the most wholesome show we've ever done.
I know, I'm going to be sick. I know. Mike, can we just get one favour off you? Although you're giving up your time tonight. When you score a goal, can we just get a bit of a fawning celebration going?
Yeah.
Get a bit of that.
That's the Gabriel Jesus celebration, isn't it? The Man City striker.
No, it's the Mike Fondop fawning. It's the Fondop fawning celebration.
Yeah, I'll get that. Make sure you remind me.
Saturday.
Yeah, she's my PA, by the way. So,
I mean, I've a very kind of like warm and fuzzy feeling while you two are giving us your lovely Christmas message there and stuff. But like we had Reedy on. He seems like a lovely guy. We've been into the club, Dave. Everyone's so welcoming. Everyone's so nice. Like, and I think that message is, remember that, fans. Like, these are normal people like you, living their lives, doing their best. Everybody is the good people. It's a good atmosphere in and around the club. Let's all stick together. And I think that, and also, Mike, we desperately need a good Christmas because we are always so bad at Christmas. We never win games over Christmas. So I'm just desperate to have a good Christmas. Beat Gateshead, beat Hartlepool twice, and then go to Dorking and stuff Mark White 8-0, and then we'll all be buzzing, But if we don't, we don't, and it's not the end of the world. But it's been fantastic to have you on. Dave, well done for mithering them to the point that they couldn't say no, mate.
I think to be fair, Ellen said, "I love the podcast." I was like, "Well, you've got to come on the phone." And she's like, "Oh, I can't." I was like, "Come on." So it's Ellen we have to thank as much as anyone.
Absolutely, thank you so much. It's been really good. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
And we'll get something nice for Honey. We'll sort something out for Honey for Christmas for you both.
Oh, bless you. you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless you.
No,
That's
thank
so
you.
kind. A baby grow with sexy Dave on it.
There we go.
We can
There
make
we
it
go.
happen. We can make it happen.
It will happen. It will
Yeah,
happen.
absolutely.
Have you thought about bringing Baz on the on, because that's
Baz.
a character
Yeah, we've had Baz on. We've had Baz. We've had
Yeah, we
Baz.
had him
Oh, right.
pre-season, didn't we? I think it was.
Oh,
I think it
right.
was
Oh,
just before the season started. Yeah.
Because I was going to say that's someone that that has a massive influence, on a daily basis on me. I always spend time with him, and it's amazing how his life experiences and advices help. So yeah, it's a good thing you had him. Anyways,
He's a wonderful human being, yeah. And
Oh.
I saw you when he did his run for his birthday. You were the guy who was egging him on, weren't you? Going, "Come on, Baz!" So that's some going that for his age. Yeah.
he's an inspiration. Yeah, he is an inspiration, Baz.
I think that's the thing
Wow.
in football and sport, because especially in football, because it's such a big team game, you get loads of characters, don't you? And lots of people that you get people that are right at the beginning of their career. You get people like Baz who've done it all already. It's a great big melting pot of experience and personalities and characters. And obviously it's not something that we've ever lived as, overweight, middle-aged men. We've never experienced football, but playing, but as a kid, you play amateur football, but it must be a great life when you find the right club, the right people, surrounded by all this experience and all these characters. It must be great.
Hey, he's of massive help to I can tell you that, that just him being, if there've been occasions where we lost the game, or I just come like Basque, we lost again, or blah blah blah. He just looks at me and he said, "What, Mike? And so what? Think about the innocent people dying in the other side of the world. Think about those children that haven't got the same opportunity as you." So, and he always tells me this thing that you never fail as long as you give everything. So you just give everything. If it doesn't work the way you want, well, put it under the carpet and then move again, try again next time. But you only fail when you stop giving everything. When and the only regret you have is to think that you could have given more. So but yeah, so like you say, it's important to have such personalities in the club. When they help you put things into perspective. They help you, they always remind you that you are lucky to be where you are, and never take things for granted.
Are you listening, Dave?
I am.
You could put more effort into this podcast and phoning.
Well,
you've heard it from Mike Fondop there. Just focus.
I sponsor Mike for his away shirt. I've got his away shirt from last season, and yeah, it's what we do is the podcast, don't we? So the Bounty Pack alerts us to sponsor Mike, and you're definitely a fan's favourite, and
which
genuine human being.
means, Mike, you are contractually obliged next time you score to do that. This is an interesting comment here, Dave. A baby girl with sexy Dave on it, yeah. Well, what about a baby girl with sexy Dave in it?
No, definitely not.
It's niche. But it could work,
and potentially illegal. Yeah, no.
Maybe you can do the London, the Oldham Half Marathon next year in a baby grow, Dave.
Well, I am doing the Manchester Marathon next year.
In a baby grow?
No.
With sexy Dave on the front. You are now.
No.
You are now.
The donations will be going out soon. The link. So. Yeah, if people get behind me, and,
nice one.
Injury permitting.
I don't think there's going to be many people behind you when you do the marathon, Dave. I think they're all going to be in front of you. To be fair, mate. But,
the longest marathon ever recorded. Yeah.
Right. Well, listen, we've kept you for nearly an hour and a quarter. Can you just remind people, Matt, that they need to come to the Christmas do and they need to get tickets? It says it across the bottom of the screen. Tickets for our Christmas do are available now. Just remind them to buy tickets for me, please, because they'll have to do as you say.
Yeah. Don't forget to go to the Christmas do, please. Ticket, they're £20 and available on the links on the podcast website. So please think about that and do not forget. Go to the Christmas do, pay those tickets.
Top man, what a legend! Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed, Mike and Elle. It's been just so brilliant having you on the show tonight. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. So anytime we're always available for that. So
I mean, we're not always available.
But yeah,
you said it now.
Yeah. No, but
can Can I
Yeah,
ask
go on.
something? I don't know if anyone has asked you that, Dave. Why the name Sexy? Why Sexy Dave?
Mike, you're looking at the reason, mate. Come
Man,
on. Mike. Pretty
Mike,
obvious.
Do you want the truth, Mike? He
Please,
gave
Matt.
himself the nickname and just kept saying it over and over again
gotta-
until he kind of like brainwashed us all into just kind of
Self-love. You've
buying
got
into
yourself.
it. And
If you
it's
don't love yourself,
I
Yeah.
love you,
don't-
Dave. Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah, there you go.
perfect.
Well, listen, on behalf of the podcast and all Latics fans, we wish you on the pitch a very, very successful and happy Christmas. But as a family, we wish you all the very, very best, and we hope you have a wonderful time. And
Thank
thanks
you.
again for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Good
Good
Bye.
night, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you for listening to the Boundary Park Alert System, a QPod production hosted and produced weekly by Matt Dean, Andy Halliwell and Dave Bradley. QPod is Oldham's only dedicated podcast production company, and if you'd like to learn more about how podcasting can help take your brand to the next level, visit kupod.co.uk. A huge thank you goes to all those people who subscribe to the podcast on Spotify. We really appreciate you all. Please visit oafcpodcast.co.uk and click Be a Supporter or find the link in the show notes if you'd like to help us fund the show. It's only $2.99 per month to subscribe, but if you'd rather make a one-off donation, please visit buymeacoffee.com/OAFC podcast or click the link on our website. Don't miss the Latics Football Phone-In every Wednesday live from 8:30 p.m. Please visit youtube.com/@OAFC podcast and do hit subscribe while you are there. You can also follow and interact with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok @OAFC podcast. Big thanks go to Eileen Finnegan for writing our excellent weekly blog, which we encourage you to read on our website every Saturday morning, and also to Paul Prendergast for providing us with all the Latics Mind questions. The title music for the show is by Manchester DJ and producer Starion, and for more information visit bandcamp.com/Red Laser Records. If you'd like to be a guest or contribute to the show, we would love to hear from you. Until then, see you next time.